folks, you have your notebooks out to the first clean sheet. Today I want to talk about something called the distance formula. In your textbook, it comes right after section 11.6, and it's called an extra. And that's what we do here. We give you the extra. Okay? Now, guys, we had talked about the Pythagorean theorem, and the thing that we know about the Pythagorean theorem is that if I square one of the legs and I add it to the square of another leg, it's going to equal the square of the third leg. I mean, of the hypotenuse. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is, let's say that this is actually a graph. Here's the x-axis, here's the y-axis. Okay? And I want to find the distance between these 2 points. Now the problem with finding the distance between the 2 points is that it's a diagonal. I can't just count numbers, right? Let's say that that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? And then this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so this is 2, 4, 6. And I'm just making this up, guys. 2, 4, 6. I can't count this distance because it's diagonal, but I can do this. I know that the length of this side is 1, 2, 3. The length of this side is 1, let me see, 2, 3, 4, 5. So using that, I can find out how long this side is. It's 3 squared plus 5 squared is equal to c squared. 9 plus 25 is equal to c squared. 34 is equal to c squared. So c equals the square root of 34. And just because I know, you can't simplify that. So the length of this line is the square root of 34, which is a little less than 6. Okay? Now, there's a formula that we can use to memorize. There's a formula that we can memorize so that we don't have to graph these things. If we're given 2 points, we just do it that way. Here's the formula. Distance is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared. Do you see x2 minus x1 is this distance, plus y2 minus y1 squared. That's the distance. But do you see it comes from the Pythagorean theorem? It's just the square root of a squared plus b squared. That's all that it is. So let's do this quickly. I'm going to just plug in these numbers. All right? This one, its point was 2, 6. And this one is, what is that one? 7, 3. Is that right? Yeah? So now, if I plug it in there, it's the square root of, I'll do the x's first, 7 minus 2 squared plus 3 minus 6 squared. Okay? So now the distance is the square root of 5 squared plus negative 3 squared. When I square negative 3, I'm going to get positive 9, right? So the distance is equal to the square root of 25 plus 9. D is equal to the square root of 34. Do you see where it comes from? I don't need the graph. I can just plug in the coordinates for the points into that equation. But do you see it all comes from the Pythagorean theorem? It's just a triangle. Okay? Now, I don't have time to do this example on this video, so we're going to go on to the next video and we'll do the first example. But now you see where it comes from. And this is an important formula. Do I need to memorize it? Well, yeah, I guess. Unless you want to plot points every time and draw little triangles every time to figure out how long each side of the triangle is. Okay? But that's where it comes from. Let's look at the next one. Let's go to the next video for the first example.